Hello, and how are we doing? I hope everyone is doing well. Good afternoon, and welcome to Montez at Midday. I'm your host, Dre Montez, and today is the Throwback Thursday edition of the show. Hope everyone is doing well. This is throwback. We raising the roof up. Everybody raise the roof. No matter where you at, just raise the roof. Have somebody question what your motives are right now. What are we doing, good people? The weather is beautiful. Oh my God, this is weather. This is holiday shopping time. Anyone listen to Christmas music yet? Anybody listen to it yet? I'm waiting until tomorrow. Tomorrow's the day we start rom-coms, doing the top 25 rom-coms and the top 25 rom-com holiday movies. We going there. Gonna watch two a day starting tomorrow, 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. I'm gonna watch two rom-coms a day. The top 25 in both categories. I'm gonna have some fun this holiday season. It's instead of your calendar, you can do your movie list right there. There it is, right there for sure. It's your first time tuning in. Thank you so much. If you're watching on Facebook, hello Facebook. If you're watching on X, hello X. If you're watching on YouTube, hello YouTube. Thank you all for tuning into today's episode of Montez at Midday. We do have our latest episode of our podcast up and running wherever you listen to your favorite podcast at. Who's to Blame, the podcast, episode 538. We discussed rivalries today, how they've changed a little bit. We've talked about how sex in the sports world, entertainment world, has drastically become a big topic of discussion nowadays. Whether you agree or disagree, there's something going on in those aspects. So we talked about that a little bit more. So check that out for sure. And as I always tell you, I also do a live stream video when I do the podcast, Who's to Blame, which is usually every Wednesday. I try to do it by 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. But just stay tuned and stay posted and stay in there. And don't forget to check out the website at www.dremontez.com. I got high fives in the building. Chest bump. Let's hug it out. Oh, yeah. Shout out to Friendlies, 3503 Roger Place. His last night was Mel's last day. And I tell you what, way to send her out, guys. Mel is just a gem to the community, whether you know her or not. I'm quite sure you've met Mel if you've been down to Friendlies before. And shout out to my man Bruno, who was also there last night. Shout out to other folks that came to show up last night. Calabasas, Jackson, Mohammed, Mike from Belleville, Maggers, the Boiler Man, the Counselor, Tess, Charlie, my man, Brandon. Who else did we have in the building last night? Mr. Phil. Mr. Phil was there yesterday. Yeah. Everybody was there for sure yesterday. John Tunes was in the building last night. So everybody was there to show up and show some love. It's quite sure everybody was for sure. And also, if you're celebrating a birthday today, happy birthday to you. Oh, Navy military veteran mine, old DOC, the Doc. Happy birthday to you, my man. Happy birthday to you for sure. And happy anniversary to my man Cuppy. Happy anniversary to you, Cuppy. Happy anniversary to you. And if you got a raise and you appreciate it, there you go. Congratulations. You probably did deserve it. It took a while, but hey, the work is paying off. You're probably a week from quitting. They better recognize who I am. But you finally got that in there for sure. So there it is right there. And if you're off today, that weather, you can get in trouble. You make them phone calls with your deep voice on tomorrow. What you doing? You want some company? That's that get in trouble weather. Get you something hot and cozy and smoke you something cool and green. Hey, Netflix who? We ain't watching nothing but each other right now. This is that weather. This is that weather right here for sure, good people and great people. Let's get through our pillars of the day. Let's let it go. Ignore them. Give it time. Don't compete. Stay calm. It's on you and laugh. There you go, for sure. You want a good laugh? What's a good laugh this morning? What's a good laugh? Mm, mm, mm. Why'd the chicken cross the road? Because there was fried grease on the other side. All right, dad joke number 2. Dad joke number 2 for sure. Words of encouragement today. Start the show off. If women supported each other, think about that. And if men were not afraid of the doctor, they're encouraging words of the day right there. If women supported women and men were not afraid of the doctor, oh my goodness, what would we be at today if those two things could meet? Can you imagine if women supported each other? Can you imagine if men went to the doctor? It is right there. Encouraging words of the day. Okay, let's get on into it. It is Throwback Thursday edition of the show. And this time of year, I can't help but think of the restaurant industry, the service industry people. Hats off to you. Hats off to you. We all know the industry has changed drastically. You got an app to order your food. They can deliver the food to you. You don't have to go to the restaurant. Remember, restaurants be a sit-down restaurant. Strangers deliver you food. The pricing. By the time you get the burger, you done paid $25 for it. Get it delivered. But in the restaurant, service industry has changed big time. After 20 years in the restaurant industry, 20 years, the camaraderie, the brotherhood, the family, the way they treated each other, the way they party, it has changed. It has changed. I'm around the industry people a lot, and I listen, and I'm hearing things that are starting to disturb me. Not how bad people are that go in restaurants. All of you know who you are. All of you know how you treat people right. You need to stop it. Stop it. Learn how to cook if you don't want to go out to eat. Learn how to cook. Learn how to cook. They got books, YouTube. They got all kind of things that help you learn how to cook. So let's treat people a little better when you go out to eat. But I'm talking about this point here. When you got off work back in the day in the restaurant industry, you didn't go home. If you went to another bar, you were waiting on somebody else to get out so you can go somewhere else and kick it. Usually somebody's house. Then everybody from work would show up. Food would never be an issue because one of us knew somebody that worked somewhere else in the industry where we can get free food hookup. Because we all used to trade shit out back and forth. It was not stealing. It was not theft. It was a way we supported each other's job and career and where we worked at. And it was fun. It was a blast. There was never any drama. It was always laughter. It was a joy to go to work. You wouldn't mind working a double 4 or 5 days in a row. Who gives a fuck? You're partying 4 or 5 days in a row. Bills were paid. You didn't have to worry about a car. Usually 4 or 5 people shared a car that worked together. Didn't nobody have to pick you up. The crew came and got you. If you were running late, we covered for you. We understood one another. If somebody got a deal on a cell phone, we all got a deal on a cell phone. I mean, it was just beautiful how the industry was back then. Today, ask anybody you know in the restaurant industry, how many people they kick it with at work, front of house and back of house and management. I bet they can do it all on one hand. They probably never even been to each other's house before. Never used anybody else's car, whether they had a license or not, or whether they had car insurance. It didn't matter. It was a family. Holiday parties, we knew how to turn up and turn out. We knew right now there was no bitching, no complaining, no calls, no shows. You out the group. Because we knew we was about to make this bank. Christmas parties was off the chain. Through the roof. We used to kick it back in the day. Oh, my God. Service industry night prices, we had those all the time. When they made it available to the public, that's when things got out of hand. You used to have to prove you worked in a restaurant to get that $2 special. But the regular people paid $3, $4. But we paid $2. Bring those days back. What's going on, Uncle Black? What's going on with you, boss? What's going on, Rich? How we doing? Thanks for tuning in, good people. It is what I like to call throw it on back Thursday. Throw it on back. Throw it on back. Not saying I want to go back to those times, but they are fun to reminisce about. Throw that head back. Get that corner grin going on. Oh, yeah, man. If they only knew. We've all said that. If they only knew. If they only knew. You ever look at your kids and say, if y'all only knew. So much went on, it's indescribable. You can't put this in a documentary. You can't put it in Netflix, a Tubi, a Freebie. You can't even put it on any of the streaming networks. You just got to sit back and have a conversation with somebody about those times. But the service industry will always have a special place in my heart. Always. Always. It used to be the only place you could go to get what you needed. If the kids only knew. Speaking of the kids only knew, raise your hand if you know someone that never knows where they're at. Raise your hand. We all know someone like that. They have no sense of direction, no clue, can have the time of their life. They can tell you all about it, everything. And here's what you got to say. So where'd you go? Hold on. Wait a minute. It was a building. That was a street light. Oh, this is my favorite. I'm going to this bar on the South Side. No, I went to this bar on the South Side and I had the time of my life. What was the name of the bar? I don't know, but it was a bunch of lights and they had a courtyard. How? Watching Dateline in 2020 in 48 Hours Investigates. There are people like that really exist. They can go out and have the time of their life. They can be in control of the trip. Can't tell you how they got there. Don't know the name of nothing. And all you have to say is, how did you get there? I followed my GPS. Here's to the people out there who never know where they're at. You are special in my book. As we all know, this is high-profile dating season. High-profile dating season. You can swipe up, swipe right, swipe up, swipe down, stick it in, poke it out, turn it all around, and that's what all about, the hokey pokey of dating. Don't it feels that way out here? I mean, you're a serial dater. You're out there doing serial dating things, good for you. But if it does it get to a point you're willing to let that go? Meaning, this person is checking off all the boxes of what you like, you're vibing with, the energy is there, everything is there. But there's one thing that bothers you. Not anything physical. It's just something about them. You're willing to let that go. Fuck it, I can let that go. You know, I'm fine with it. I'm not talking about food allergens and that like that, but what is the one thing that you could think of? This person, you and this person, everything, you're so compatible. But you found out there's this one thing. You know what? I can let that go. I can let it go. I can deal with that. I can go ahead and date this person. But this one thing, it's not a red flag, but it's just one thing like, maybe we can't let that come out, but we cool. But what is that thing? Because I think we've all been there. Everyone has a certain thing, especially a red flag checklist. Red flag. You can fit my shoes? Oh, no. Hell no. Well, you should know that day one. You know, that's the funny part if you don't know that. We're going to take a short break. Have a word from my sponsor. Let's cheer some people up. Let's let people know there are people out here that care and appreciate them. And also that can help you get out of neutral and into drive. Be right back after a word from our sponsor.
St. Louis, are you suffering from depression? Our advanced mental health treatments offer support to those facing depression. Supported by science and over 1 million treatments administered, a countless number of lives have been revitalized with our newfound healing process. Because your well-being matters, we have 2 convenient St. Louis locations dedicated to your transformative pursuit of mental wellness. We understand the importance of informed decisions. Research, discover, and take the first step toward a brighter tomorrow. Visit palmiertms.com to uncover more about our non-drug treatment for depression, covered by all major insurance plans. Let us stand by your side on this journey towards mental wellness. Contact us today.
All right, welcome back to Montez at Midday. I'm your host, Dre Montez, and it is Throwback Thursday edition of the show. Shout out to the service industry people. We used to kick it back in the day. It was some good old times back in the day. Also, we always know someone that has no clue where they are, no sense of direction. They live by the GPS law. They don't pay attention to addresses, street signs, landmarks. They just go out there and live, have the time of their lives. Don't you like people like that? I'm willing to let it go. Me and this person, we're vibing. We're about to start dating, but you find out something that's not physically seen. But you found out something. You're saying, you know what? It's rough out here. I can let that go. I can let that go for sure. Shout out to all my friends that are doing well and feeling good about their life and the situation that they're in. I got an aura going on. All my friends are doing very, very well. Their energy, their levels are up. Everybody has leveled up in the energy of life. Finally getting to that point. All right, I think we've all been there. As sports fans, as people who have participated in sports, we get to that point where injury will happen. We hate when our favorite players get hurt. Ones that can be very impactful for what our team is going to do. Case in point, Vince Coleman. If Tarp hit Vince Coleman, oh man, that was rough. That was rough. When Terrell Davis went down for my Denver Broncos, rough. We've all been there, losing key players in their path for a championship, or even a season where we can talk shit, or even a season for them just to go up on their accolades and their statistics to get them in the Hall of Fame or whatever they're trying to do. But when you get to that injury point, the return from injury can be very psychological. You ever hurt yourself and said, you know what? I'm strong to do this. I'm going to come back early. Did you heal properly? See, a lot of things go in effect here. Eating, sleep, exercise, all of that is key point in rehabilitation. You just can't sit on your ass for 6 weeks and come back. You're supposed to be out for 10 weeks, but you've been sitting on your ass for 6 weeks, and you tell coach, hey, I'm ready. No, you're not. No. You got to build that thing up. You got to build that thing up. Now, here's the other aspect of returning from injury. We think it's going to happen again. We second guess, what did I do wrong for that to happen? Then you become a little PTSD with the thought process of getting hurt again. You're not going 100%. You're being timid in the attack. You're being more careful, but when that happens, the more careful you are, now you're in that injury prone. Now that affected you psychologically. Now you're really gonna get hurt. So the return from injury, there's a lot that goes into it. And on a professional point, when you know you're a baller, when you know you're in a position, I know I can help my team if I come back. Or maybe if I come back, I can spark my team. And I think that's where Aaron Rodgers is at with the New York Football Jets. As a betting man, as a competitive person, as a person understanding what position he plays, his age factor, and the team, the offensive line, the wins and losses in the offseason. What are going to be the additions to sustain this guy that I can do my job? That's a tough thing to do, to say, let me see if I can go out there and play. There's not a practice game. There's full speed. I want to get out there and play. The other team's not going to slow down. So they're coming. I get why he wants to come back and play this year, but there are a whole lot of circumstances involved. Are they in the push for the playoffs? A lot of things got to happen mathematically in order for me to come back if I'm Aaron Rodgers. But I know how he's thinking, that competitive nature, the Hall of Famer, the Super Bowl winner, future Hall of Famer, Super Bowl winner. Only one. All that talent, only one. But I get it. As fans of teams that have players in this position, sometimes we're saying, yeah, we want to see what you got. Then other times we're like, oh no. This could really affect the future of the franchise. We already see what the options are right now at quarterback. Not very good. We know what week we're in right now. We got to make things make sense. Have some fun with people on the practice squad. Rotate them in, rotate them out. That's the best survival skill I have for teams that are willing to let a player come back to prove himself from an injury when I know the team is out of contention from playoffs, postseason. I would go that way for sure. Heard some disturbing news last night during college basketball. Young man said he didn't want to play in the game, allegedly, because the team didn't have the tights that he wanted. Let me get this straight. You refused to play in the game because the team didn't have the tights that you wanted to put on to play a basketball game. Allegedly, the team has never had the tights you wanted. So there's something. What is? It's Thursday night women's college basketball going to be fire. I get to see South Carolina play tonight. And LSU play tonight. And we also got Thursday night football. Dallas Cowboys against the Seattle Seahawks. Ooh. Offensively, the Cowboys have the edge. But I don't want Dallas to do this. Anticipate the competition coming ahead. Okay? Meaning San Fran and Philly. Don't worry about them. You got to go out here and play the game against Seattle. Don't worry about what's coming ahead. That's why I don't want Dallas Cowboy fans to get, nor the Dallas Cowboys. Concentrate on this game. Simplify the task, in the words of old baseball manager Jim Leyland. Jim Leyland had a way to make you feel like anything he said, anything you saw in front of you, you could beat it. You could beat it. The Cowboys are a better offensive team in this matchup tonight. I think the defenses are pretty much neck and neck because Pete Carroll knows how to put together a good defensive scheme against teams that he feels as though is better at them offensively. Now he got to come with it with that defense. No, they're not the boom. They may be they're not the boom. They may be that's what Seattle was at, but they can be. Potentially they can be. Some teams play better against better competition. Some teams dumb it down. They don't feel like that team is ready for them. They don't want to hurt themselves or anybody else. We've all been there before. Don't play so hard. You better they are. Calm down a little bit. But Dallas should have this game. See, everybody's looking ahead in the NFC. Everybody's looking ahead in the AFC. What about if we focus on the game that's right in front of us right now? We know as fans how exciting these upcoming matchups are going to be over the next few weeks. But as a coach or a player and a fan, I'm DMing all my players I'm cool with. I'm hitting the team page of, hey, concentrate on this game. Damn what the announcers are saying. Damn what Vegas is saying. We know we done practiced this week. We know we done talked about game film, all that. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. That should be the message and the focal point moving forward for sure. Oh, this is one of my favorite discussions here. And I saw a lot of people last night that are in this position. When you finally are feeling yourself, when you're at that point, you got it. You're not being cocky. You're not being pointing at yourself. You're just comfortable. You're not settling. You good. You're happy. Everything is where it needs to be. You can't explain it. There's no need to. You know what you've been through. You know what you got through. You know where you're at. There's no need to look back. You know where you came from. You're not looking too far ahead, but you're paying attention to which way you're going. And that glow is just special. That glow is just special. And when you finally feel yourself, there's nothing that one fucking person can say. You just do that laugh. Okay? I got you. Move it right along. That's not cocky. That's confidence. That's feeling okay. I'm okay with this. And there's nothing wrong with it. I'm okay, Joey. I'm okay, Tiffany. It's like that. When you get that way with yourself, I can't even explain it to you. is when that day you finally realize that yellow and blue make green. God damn it, Bob. What? You mean to tell me I didn't need a green crayon as a kid? That yellow and blue make green? I tell you the things we learned back in the day. All right, now last topic of discussion. Everybody in the world has done this. When a sports team is competing and somebody is winning and somebody's losing, that are not in the odds anybody else, what's the favorite thing they're saying? It's either strength of schedule or we can't help. Look who they play. They haven't beat anybody over 500. Everybody starts out 0-0. There's a fair level of entertainment out there right now for as competition. There's a fair level across the NFL. Everybody starts off 0-0. The expectations are met somewhere, some are not. We can't help that these teams didn't win the games they should have won. Can't help that they below 500. Why do teams get knocked on that? Oh, well, they haven't played anybody over 500. The projectile record of those teams was supposed to be that way. They were projected to do better than that. Every team we were supposed to play was supposed to have a winning record based on level of competition and schedule matchup. But when the schedule versus the win and losses don't make sense, and we're trying to defend that, nobody is understanding what we're trying to say. You got Team A and Team B over here. I'm going to break it down to its purest form. Team A and Team B both have to play 10 games. They start out doing real good, 2-0, 3-0, 4-0. Team B goes on a 4-game losing streak. Now it's 4-4 against 6-2. Now when they match up to each other, they're going to say Team B is barely a 500 team. Team A should beat them. Why? Why? Just because what happened on the schedule, Pat? They're the same team, same matchup. Strength of schedule the same. But we're punishing in the verbiage to the teams. But you haven't beaten anybody over here. You haven't done anything. Look at what's about to happen in college football. College football rankings for the playoff could get into a fucking fist fight, chair fight, TMZ, SWAT could be called in if this scenario happens. I'm explaining it again tomorrow. But I'm so happy right now that I want this to happen. I want absolute pandemonium to happen. I want to be some finger pointing. I want somebody to say something about somebody's mama. Let's say Bama beats Georgia. Let's say that. Washington wins. Texas wins. Who? And Michigan wins. Who getting in? Who getting kicked out? Who getting kicked out? I think it's when you lose. If you're a Power 5 and everybody wants you to win, you're that school, and you lose early, and you go out undefeated, what is the issue? If your strength of schedule is not that good, meaning you haven't played nobody all fucking year because they didn't meet up to the expectations of the team, the alumni, and us, and the powers that be, Vegas, you're not getting that heavy favorite as you should. But Georgia's the defending national champion. Now, if Georgia is in a predicament, unusual situation. If Georgia loses, they're not going to be out. That's another thing. So do you play hard if you're UGA? Do you play hard if you're UGA? If Washington loses and Bama beats Georgia, things are going to get interesting this weekend. I mean, starting Friday, things are going to get interesting, this whole thing here. But every time we get into this crucial part of the season, trying to figure out the playoffs, trying to figure out the playoff push in the NFL, hell, even the NBA, the schedule and the wins and losses. Yeah, you should have beat them, but you didn't. And now you're not getting that same street credit as you should or you thought you should get based on what happened. Is it fair? No, but it is fun to talk about for sure. What's up, counselor? How we doing today? Got you. Throw it way back. Go deep. I'm gonna throw it like a quarterback when it's third and a lot. In the words of Foxy Brown. But this is that weather. You wouldn't mind making that phone call or making that favorite quote. What you doing? Kids at school. This that snuggle weather right here. This that little drum weather. This that potato soup at the strip club weather. Get you a bowl of soup and mosey on up to the bar at the strip club. There you go. Soup and a stripper. That should be a promo. Soup and a stripper over here. Oh my, don't let me own the strip club. We're going to have some fun every day. Can you imagine if Dre owned the strip club? Oh my goodness. Sorry, mom and dad. Sorry. Thinking outside the box. Nothing to see here, folks. Nothing to see. But I got something for you to listen to. My latest episode of my podcast is up and available. Who's to Blame? The podcast, episode 538. It's up on Spotify. Check it on out. Spotify. Who's to Blame? The podcast. As well as I do a live stream. You can catch those recordings from yesterday. It's up on our page at Who's to Blame on Facebook, on X at W2B Dre Montez, and YouTube Dre Montez, which is a page is free to subscribe to. Check it on out. But as they say in the hood, kids, it's been fun. It's been grand. And it's what they say, it's time to eat almost. It's lunchtime. It's lunchtime, kids. When you go in your car, listen to that lunchtime remix. You come back in sweating. Your coworkers like, what's wrong with you? You don't want to tell them you've been in the car jamming out to the lunchtime remix, going back to your days of yesteryear. You in there prepping in your own car, doing the cabbage patch in the front seat, getting your workout on, getting that lunchtime groove on. Hey, the lunchtime groove remix. When DJs used to try to hurt you at lunchtime. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. Well, folks, I'm going to get out of here. Enjoy the rest of your day. And don't forget to do your part in helping control the pet population. Don't forget to get your pet spayed or neutered at your local Humane Society. All right, folks, take it easy. Same time, same channel. See you tomorrow at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. Peace, and we out.